Hi friends, Dr. Lisa here, physical therapist and osteoporosis exercise expert. And today's video is all about dynamic balance. This whole video, we're going to be working on moving in different directions and improving our balance while we're moving. And if you follow me, you know that dynamic balance is the most important balance to train to prevent falls, injuries, and fractures. Standing balance or static standing balance is wonderful and important to train too, but we need to have good balance while we're moving, and today that's what we're going to do. Hey, if you're new here, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And you'll be able to see great supportive videos like this coming out every single week. Thanks for being here. All right, setting my yoga block down. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you need a yoga block if you don't have one. So a yoga block we're going to use to tap our foot on it, to step over and back, and even to rest our foot on it in a little bit. So if you don't have a yoga block, something similar, a small weight would be okay too. It doesn't need to be very heavy. We're going to be using the block in our hands. And the other thing you might need is a chair for support. If you need a little extra support, please use a chair or a countertop to create some safety for you in this program. The only reason this chair is in this video today is to remind you to use it if you need it. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with our feet hip width apart, and as you can see, I don't have my shoes on. If you're comfortable doing this without your shoes on, then I would like to see that. If you have socks on, please make sure that they either have non-skid on the bottom or you have a surface like I do, my yoga mat, that keeps my feet from sliding on the floor. If you want, you can absolutely wear your shoes as long as we are moving and improving our dynamic balance together. All right, so my feet are hip width apart. First exercise I'm going to do is work on coming up on my toes and then coming back on my heels and lifting my toes. And you'll notice that my hips move with that a little bit, and that is okay. Toes and heels. And again, if you need a little bit of support with a hand on a chair, do it. Once you get a little bit better, maybe you can let go. Spending a little time, toes and heels. This really boosts our ankles' ability to help correct our balance. And we need to strengthen the muscles around the ankle so that it can do a better job of that. As you can tell when you're probably doing it, that it's not that easy to be up on your toes and not lose your balance, or to go backwards and not feel like you're going to fall backwards. Great exercise to practice. Okay, there's heels and toes. Next, we're just going to warm up our weight shifting single leg balance. So we'll shift to the right, lift the left foot, place it back down, shift to the left, lift the right, shift and lift. You must have the weight shift so that your center of balance is on top of the leg that you're standing on. Otherwise, you'll continue to fall towards the leg that you picked up. Shift and lift. Very good. Just a couple more here. Excellent. All right, good job. Kind of walk it out if you need to. Now, I'm going to take my feet nice and close together. The closer together they are, the more difficult. The wider apart they are, the more stable you'll feel. So choose a distance that is reasonably challenging for you. And the exercise is going to be to reach as far forward as you can and as far back as you can. 10 times forward. So from the side, it looks like this. I'm reaching forward. Notice how straight my back is. It's my hips go back as my hands reach forward. And then I reach back. Forward and back. Keep going here. Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's go for one more. 8. Excellent. Okay, getting those dynamic reaching beyond our limits of stability, or reaching with our limits of stability. That is really helping to train what we do every day. Now, I have my feet close together again. I'm going to place my arms straight out at my side in this letter T position, and I'm reaching to the right and to the left, as far as I can go, but without falling over. It's not very far. We get that movement mostly from a little bit of weight shift over to that side, and then a lot of movement up through our shoulders. 7, 8. Good. Next up, we're going to imagine a box in front of you. A box has 2 corners up above and 2 corners down below that are about waist height. So waist height bottom corners, and then up above the shoulders for the top corners. Keeping my feet straight or right together, we're going to reach across and up, reach, reach, and across and down, reach, reach, hitting each corner of the box, up, reach, down, punch up, punch down. Keep going. And down one more time. Up, up, down, down. Good. Now shake the feet out a little bit. We're going to do the same thing, but we're changing foot position. Right foot is going to step forward as if you took a small step. If you feel like your balance is pretty good and needs more challenge, place that foot right in front of the other one. If it's wider, that's easier. The closer you get to being in front of the back leg, the more challenging it will be. So I just stepped forward as if I took a small step. Keep the knees soft, and we're going to do that box reach again. So reaching across and up, up, down, down. Always reaching across, up, up, down. You may feel more work in the back leg or ankle. You may feel it in both legs or ankles. Up, up, down, down. Excellent. Shake it off. Obviously, we're going to do the same thing, the other foot forward. So for me, that's putting the left foot forward as if I took a small step. Knees are relaxed, core is engaged, reaching across and up, 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 down, down, up, up. Here we go. Down, down, up, and down, down. One more time. Reach, down, down. Excellent. Step it out. Next up, we're going to go into a side-to-side reach, which I call a starfish reach. So we're going to be reaching to the same side that we're stepping. So this you may want, if you're using support, the countertop in front of you or a chair in front of you if you need to. So it looks like this. Step, reach, and return. Step, reach, and return. So this version, you can keep the other foot still on the ground. If you want a little more challenge, you can lift it as you reach. Here we go. Do the version that works best for you. We're going for 10 or 5 on each side. Step 1, feet come together. Step 2, feet come together. 3, nice job. 4, 5, 6, I find these really fun. 7, 8, I like the image of a starfish too. 9, here we go, last one. 10. Excellent. Good job, everybody. It's time to grab our yoga block. So I'm going to place the block right in front of me. And we're going to start by just tapping the top of the block, alternating one foot and then the other. We'll do a total of 20 taps. So this combines a little weight shift, movement, return, recover, weight shift the other way, return, recover. You can't land on that foot or you're going to knock the block over and lose your balance. So it needs to be a controlled toe tap. All right, again, use your chair or your countertop if you need to for a little safety and support. Here we go. 1, and again, we're not speeding. 2. If you go faster, there's 4, it can seem easier. 6. So I do like to challenge you to take your time. 8. 10. See how gently you can tap it. 12. 14. Good job. 16. Simple but effective. 18. And 20. Good. Doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. That's one of my favorite dynamic balance exercises. It really improves so much when we do it. All right, next up, we're going to place one foot on the block gently and hold it there. And while we hold it there, we're going to punch across, reaching across one arm and then the other. Are you ready? So get your feet set, place one foot on top of your block or your weight, your pillow, and let's reach for 10. 1, 2, 3. Feel that back leg working. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Now, if you needed chairs for that, you could have a chair on each side and just take turns on which hand is holding on as you reach across. All right, place the other foot on the block. Here we go. Be up nice and tall. Core is engaged. Let's reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. All right. Next up, we are going to do some stepping over. So we're going to do lateral step overs of the yoga block because we know that more often than not, a hip fracture happens because of a fall to the side onto the hip. So we need to improve our balance moving in the side to side direction. Often stepping over an obstacle is one of the issues that can lead us to tumble. So set your obstacle right beside your feet, not in front of them, but right beside your feet. And if this is really hard for you, definitely hold on, or you can also make the obstacle really small, maybe just as big as a piece of tape or a Post-it note, so you visually see that you need to step over something, but it's not so high to trip you up. But if we really want to get better at picking up our feet, stepping over an obstacle, this is the tool. We will step over and back for 5, and then we're going to step all the way over and all the way back for 5 more. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Over, 1, over, 2, 3. Notice I'm bending that knee when I land on it so I can push off. 4, 5. I tried to see if I cheated there because I felt like I did. What we don't want to see is that you swing around the back of it to come back, right? We want to step up and over. So be conscious of yourself if you notice yourself cheating and going around the block instead of over it. Okay, next up we're going to do 5 repetitions all the way over and all the way back. And the key here really is that you step large enough so that the other foot has room. I see this in the clinic all the time. Somebody steps here and then they're trying to squeeze that other foot in. You have to take a large enough step. And we lose that as we get older if we don't practice it. Okay, we're going 5 times, stepping over the block. Big step now. All the way over, all the way back. 1. Good job. 2. 3. 4. 5. Excellent. We're just going to move my block to the other side. All right. We're going to do 5 steps to the left, landing on that leg. It's like a spring. It's bent, pushing back, coming back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Strong work, everybody. 5. Okay, we're stepping all the way over to our left. You may find it's easier to your left, or you may find it's more difficult. We tend to have one side where things are a little bit better, things are a little bit easier. There's 2. Picking up those feet nice and high. 3, knees up. 4, even if you're holding on to something, practicing that ability to really pick up your knees makes a big difference. Okay, now I'm holding the block in my hand. If you have a small weight, it doesn't need to be big, 1 or 2 pounds. You can do this with that also, or even a soup can or a water bottle if you don't have a yoga block. So first off, we're bringing our feet close together, touching if you can do that. If you can hold your balance, even if it's a little bit of effort with your feet touching, give that a try. If you don't feel completely safe doing that, get up close to the wall. So if you fall back, you'll just be right up against the wall. Okay, feet together. We're going to do arms out, and we're going to pass the block back and forth. 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Now we're going to add a layer of difficulty. Again, we're going with the small step forward. It doesn't need to be right in front unless you're feeling like you want it a little spicier today, but just move it just enough so a foot length forward of the other and just slightly to the side if that feels challenging enough. We're going to take the arms out again over the top for this. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, 8. Way to go. Let's switch those feet. So I had my right foot forward. Now my right foot is back. Left foot comes forward just the length of my foot, maybe a tiny bit more, and just slightly to the left of my right foot. Okay, feeling my ankles work. And think about your foot tripod. So that's the base of the big toe knuckle, the base of the little toe knuckle, and your heel. All 3 of those points, the wide part of the front of your foot and your heel is the tripod and the stable part of your foot. So if you feel your big toe knuckle lifting up, you only have 2 points of contact. Or if you feel your little toe coming up or your heel, we want all 3 points of contact while we're balancing. Here we go. Nice and wide, up over the top. 1, we're going for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. You may set your block down. We have 2 more exercises to work on. So this next one is walking in a narrow gait. So if you normally walk pretty wide, then I want you to try to bring your feet as close together walking as you can. And for folks that normally walk without their feet too wide apart, we want to try to be placing one foot in front of the other as if you're walking on a balance beam. You do not need to touch heel to toe, but just staying in a straight line as if you're on a narrow balance beam. And then the trick is we want to walk backwards after we get our 5 steps forward. And then backwards walking. Notice I'm going toe to heel, walking backwards, not in a very, slightly narrow, but not as narrow as we did walking forward. So that's the drill that we're going to do 5 times. 5 steps forward on the balance beam, and then walking backwards, toe to heel, with whatever width apart with our feet that feels safe. Here we go. Arms can be out. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're doing toe to heel as we walk backwards to our starting point. If you have a countertop and you just need a little bit of support while you do that on either side, that's a great way to give yourself a little bit of safety and balance. 4, 5, coming back toe to heel. Taking our time. Notice I'm not taking a very big step. I'm working more on stability and control. Good. Good. Hands out, better balance. Hands in, more challenging. Hands folded across your chest, more challenging. Putting one foot behind the other, coming backwards, more challenging. That was round number 3. Round number 4. And I am looking slightly ahead. I'm not looking exactly where my feet are. Really trying to feel my foot touch the floor. Feel my foot take the load or the weight one step after the other. Last one. Getting that connection with how our foot feels on the ground and where it is. Having that ability to use all of your peripheral vision to understand where the obstacles are and where your foot needs to land is really important. Wow, that was fantastic. All right, last exercise I call going over the hurdle. And we're just going to imagine that you have to step over an imaginary gate. A gate that you have to lift your leg up, step over the gate, lift your leg up, and bring it back. To the other side, lift your leg up, take it over the gate, lift your leg up, and bring it back. So that's the drill. We're going to do 5 on each side. Let's start on your right or my left. Over and 1. Notice I allow the hips to open as I step back, up, and the hips return to straight ahead. There's 2. Yes, you can absolutely hold on while you do this. 3. Really focus on for strong core and picking up the leg as far as it will go. 5, and really getting that openness through the hip. Squeeze it up, out, and back. Up, over, and back. There's 1. 2, this can apply. 3, getting in and out of a tub shower setup. 4. Maybe I'm doing an extra. 5. Okay, there we go. Should be feeling that in the hips a little bit about now. But lots of reasons why we need to be able to step over an obstacle into a taller vehicle that we don't normally ride in. When we're out in public and encountering different scenarios that we don't just have every day in our homes. And this helps keep us safe. Hey, that was a great dynamic balance routine. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I'd love to have you join the Brick House Bones family. Also, look at my private Facebook group where I share lots more evidence-based information on how to have strong, healthy bones and prevent fractures. Thank you. I'll see you next time.